Hey everyone, it's Jamie from Best Nerd Life, and welcome to another episode of Nerdy Thrifts, a video series where I go around my local and not so local charity shops to try and find some nerdy bargains. Now today is a beautiful sunny Sunday morning, which means exactly one thing. Yeah, I'm going to more Carboots. Yes, this is going to be a Carboot centric episode, so without further ado, let's get going. And here we go onto our first Carboot sale. This is actually before the heat wave, so the grass is nice and green. Now pretty much straight away I found this nice box of wires. I tend to try and do my best to search through these like rat's nests of wires because sometimes you can find some pretty decent ones. I've noticed that kind of Nintendo branded wires and chargers and all that kind of stuff tend to be quite valuable. Now talking about the value of things, check this box of media out. They wanted 20p each per item of media, or whatever you want to call it. And I was kind of tempted with some of these, like Civilization for the PC, also Battle Middle Earth. Never played that, looks pretty cool. Black and White, I do want to get that, but in a better box. And then also, right at the end, I found Spider-Man. Crazy how these things depreciate in value. Moving on here now, and I found a bag full of stuff, but also more importantly, get around that guy, I found these consoles, a Wii and a PlayStation 3. The guy wanted £50 each for each console. That is definitely something I would not pay for. At a stretch, I'd pay £50 for both of them. But yeah, I don't want either of them, so I wasn't even going to offer. But yeah, just not interested in this. But they were in pretty decent shape. Moving on here, and I slinked my way into this area with all the games, and yeah, pretty decent amount of them. Good variety of them: Skyrim, Far Cry 4, all that kind of stuff. They wanted £2 each, and actually that is fairly good value for some of these titles, but I just really wasn't in the market for any of these. But yeah, I had a look through anyway, mainly because I think it's good content. Moving along, I also found some pretty decent Nintendo DS games, including this Professor Layton and Pandora's Box game. That's probably the most interesting one out of the bunch, and I can't remember the prices that they were asking, but because I didn't get any, I will say that I didn't really agree with the price that they wanted, so yeah, I left it. Another Wii there with Guitar Hero, just yeah, not for me. Yet another stall here with some Xbox 360 games, pretty decent selection. Again, I didn't get any of them, and I don't regret that at all, except for maybe one of the last things we see here, which is Brutal Legends. I want that game so much, and I can't believe I passed up on it. Now this next thing is probably the best thing I found at this particular Carboot. This is a Logitech Extreme 3D Pro. This thing has a very hefty base and I really like the feel of it. And the guy was selling it for £5, so I absolutely snapped it up. On to the final interesting stall of this particular Carboot. And yeah, this guy was so adamant in getting rid of all of his Only Fools and Horses VHSs, but I just didn't have the space to take them. However, I did decide to get one VHS because it's the best one. Time on our hands, it's an absolutely fantastic, quintessential episode. And yeah, I'm so happy that I have it in my possession. Fast forward a little bit of time now, and as you can see, this is later on in the summer when the heat wave hit. The grass is brown and dry and it was horrible, but I still decided to go to some Carboots, and this is one that I've never actually been to before, so let's head in. Now my first find here was this Power A Xbox controller. I've always been interested in these because they have those kind of back buttons that I think are programmable, but you know what, I just didn't pick this up at the time. They wanted £5 for it, which I think was a pretty decent price, but yeah, in the end I just decided to leave it. Kind of regret it, but you win some, you lose some. Yeah, look at that nice dry grass. On top of that grass though is some PlayStation 2 games, some Xbox 360 ones, PlayStation 3. Yeah, some pretty decent ones here. I didn't even ask the price. You know, if they were like 50p each, I would have picked them up, but yeah, I missed out on these, to be honest. I should have really considered getting them more. But yeah, I left them. Now these are some cracking finds, if I do say so myself. A bunch of Wallace and Gromit VHSs, so The Wrong Trousers, A Close Shave, and A Grand Day Out. I actually did animation at university. My final film was a stop motion one, so yeah, some personal attachment to these, and also some Jack and Sarah film, I don't know, £2 for all the lot. Moving on here, and I found Fallout 4 for the PlayStation 4 for £3, which I think is a fairly decent price, except you can probably buy that new for like £2 because it's just like cheap as anything. So yeah, decided to leave it, but I adore that game. What a nice thing to see. Now this is something you don't see every day. This is an Exploder game cheat thing, whatever it is, in a nice shiny case. Now I opened it up and there was like one thing in there. I'm pretty sure that it was meant to have more things there, so I left it. Although, you know, it's pretty cool to see. The case itself was probably worth like 50p a pound, I don't know, but in the end I decided to leave it anyway. Now this next thing was pretty cool. This is a Star Wars Jedi Knight Dark Forces 2 instruction manual for the PC game. Now I'm pretty sure that if I'd come here earlier I would have found some more PC games, like actually in the big box. Like, I don't know, I didn't get there in time, but this was interesting. I was considering buying it because, you know, it's actual physical media to do with video games, but in the end I decided to leave it. Also found a bunch of PlayStation 2 games stacked up. There were some pretty unique ones in here. I've never heard of Seek and Destroy, Off-Road, Pinball Hall of Fame. You know, there were things that are quite interesting in there, and the guy did mention that I had missed out on a lot of stuff that he had, so I really do wish I could have got here sooner and maybe got myself some bargains. But yeah, I was tempted to get going, but I didn't. Moving on, and I found this Fox One system blower guided missile thing. This is essentially a freestanding fan that you fit into the back of your PC, and this was fairly cool. I've never seen this before, so I offered him like £1 and he was like, well, it's kind of worth more than that, but yeah, I'll sell it for £1. So I got this for £1, why not? Moving on once again, and I found this nice little container full of Xbox 360 games, and I don't know if I was like just too tired in the morning and not patient enough, but I think I could have got some really decent bargains in here, but I just wasn't patient enough to look through it and check prices and all that kind of stuff. So I just kind of, you know, glazed over these and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, again, it's nice to see a good selection of games for fairly decent prices, right? But yeah, I didn't get any. It was interesting and Condemned, but again, just didn't get them. And last but not least, a pretty random and unique find. All these statues of Crawford Starrick, I think his name is, from the Assassin's Creed franchise. I don't know a lot about the Assassin's Creed games, don't know who this character is, but you know what? Sell them off for like 20p each. Yeah, I'm gonna get one for like 20p. I checked to see if there's any more, but it was just this dude. So yeah, I got him for 20p. Why not? And here is the haul for this particular video. Not a massive amount of things, a couple of VHSs, a fan from computer, and also a figure, as well as that joystick that I don't actually have pictured here because I've had a clean out recently since doing that video and I've stored it away for safekeeping. So yeah, that thing does work fine. It had something wrong with the USB thing, but I fixed that up and it works fine. But yeah, that's everything for this video. Now I have actually been really busy recently, so I haven't been able to get as many videos as I want, but I have been filming all this time in a lot of different places. So I just need to spend a bit of time sorting through that, editing it up, and actually getting it to a stage which is viewable. So if you did enjoy this video and want to see more in a similar vein, then by all means like, comment, subscribe, do all that social media goodness, and as always, keep living that best nerd life.